Good morning, everyone. Welcome again to class 11th Informatics Practices, Chapter 3, that is Python Fundamentals, Part 4. In this part, we will see simple input and output in Python. So let's begin with taking input in Python. Now we'll see how to take input in Python. Once the interpreter is running, we can start typing in a commands to get the result. Developers often have a need to interact with the users, either to get the data or to provide some sort of the result. Most programs today use a dialog box as a way of asking the user to provide some type of input. While Python 2.x, that means Python 2, provides us with the two inbuilt functions to read the input from the keywords. That is, number one, row input function, and number two, input function. But in Python 3x, that is 3 and above, in all the Python 3 versions, there is only one function, that is an input function. And this function plays an important role while taking the input from the user. Now you see input using input function. So input function is an important function in a Python, and this function takes the input from the user and then evaluates the expression, which means the Python automatically identifies whether the user entered a string or a number or a list. If the input provided is not correct, then either the syntax error or exception is raised by Python. For example, I'll show you both in an interactive mode and the script mode. First, we'll see the interactive mode. In interactive mode, let's see this code. You can see here in a first line, VL is a variable name is equals to, now in this variable I have to store any value. So VL, I have created a variable is equals to input. In a bracket, I have given the message enter your value. So this is a message for the user. Now bracket close. Now you can see this is an interactive mode. As soon as I enter this statement and press enter, Python will give the output. You can see the output here, enter your value. So I have entered a value 25, and now after that I have given print val. So after giving the print val, so automatically I will give the output 25. That is val is the value, and this 25 what I have entered is stored in the val. Okay. Now the same we can perform in the script mode also. So let's see in a script mode. In a script mode, we'll get the output at the last after writing all the programs. So in a script mode, I have written a comment first, Python program showing a use of input function. And here, first statement, val is equals to input in a bracket, enter your value. Then in second statement, print val. The same thing is there, but the way of writing is different. That is, it is a script mode. So all the output we will get at the last. Now let's see the output. When I execute this code, I will get the output as, first it will ask me to enter a value. When I enter the value, it will show 123 like this. So I think you got an idea. Now let's see how the input function works in a Python. When the input function executes, the program flow will be stopped until the user has given the input. The text or message display on the output screen to ask the user to enter the input. The value is optional. That is, the prompt will be printed on the screen is optional. Whatever we enter as an input function convert it into the string. And if we enter an integer value, still input function convert it into a string. So in such case, we need to explicitly convert it into integer in our code by using typecasting. So for example, in this, you can see the comment here. The comment is a program to check the input and type in Python. So I have created a variable num is equal to input, enter your number, enter number, then print num. Then next, this is in a script mode. Okay. Next variable is name1. Name1 is equals to input, enter name. Now the name is also printing, so print name1. Now after that I have given a comment printing type and input value. Now I will print the type and input value. Now the value will be printed from this only. Now I will print the type of the input value. So print type of number, that is this num. So what I have to use, I have to use one function, that is type function, type in a bracket num. So it will return the type of num. Now similarly, print type of name in a bracket in a then one function type in a bracket name1. So it will also return the type, that is data type of name1. So let's see the output here. When we display the output, you can see the first it will show enter a number, enter a number. Now I have given, for example, the user have entered a number 125. So this number 125 will be printed, that is print num. So 125 now it is coming. Now second is enter name. So some name is given as just skt. Now this name is stored in name1. Now print name1, it will print as skt. Now similarly in the last two line, the type of number, you can see the type of number, and here is type num. So automatically it will give class str. So by default, as I told you, that whatever we enter in a python, so python automatically convert it into a string. Okay, if I enter a number also, then also it will convert it into a string. If I give it a string, then it will be string only. So you can see here, so in the both case, in a case of number also, in case of name also, it is showing a string. So by default it is taking in a form of string. But when we have to calculate, when we have to perform any arithmetic operations, so arithmetic operation cannot be performed on string. In such case, we have to convert the string into number. So we will see now I show you accepting the input from the console. That is, console is simply an interactive mode. It is basically a command line interpreter that takes the input from the user, that is one command at a time, and interprets. If the code is error free, then it runs the command and gives the required output, otherwise shows the error message. To take the input from the user, we make use of built-in function, that is input, that we have learned just now. Now let's see. So input one is equals to input function, and you can give any message here. So automatically whatever we enter, that will be stored in the input one, and to print it, and we have to give this. Just now we have seen the example also, but this will take the input in a form of a string. Now the question is, if I have to enter any integer type or float type or any other type, then what I have to do? So we can also typecast this input, that is this string input, to the integer, float or a string by specifying the input function inside the type. We can see, first we'll see typecasting the input to integer. Typecasting means converting one type of value into another type. So typecasting the input to integer. So there might be a condition when we require an integer input from the user. The Here we'll see the code which converts the input into integer. Let's see this code. Here you can see, here there is a num1, that is a variable. I am taking the input function is here. Now here int is put. So what we'll do, this is int is another function, input is another function. So first it will take an input from the user and convert it into integer and store in num1. Similarly, you can see the second variable num2. Num2 is equals to int in a bracket, then again input. So input, what the input will take? This input will take a string value, and this string value is converted to integer and then stored in a num2. Now after this, you can see the printing the sum of the integers. So in the printing, you can see the print num1 plus num2. So this num1 plus num2, it will add and give the number. So now it is possible, that is it performs the arithmetic operation, that is plus, and this is possible only because we have converted that string into number, otherwise it will not be possible. So this is called a typecasting, that is converting one type of value into another type. We'll see one more example, that is typecasting of input to float. So to convert the input to the float keyword will be used with the input function. Let's see. So input float numbers. So the same example is there, but only the little change. Now num1 is equals to, instead of int we write float, because you have to take the value in the form of float, that is decimal, in a bracket input. Input is a function that takes the input and convert it into float and store in the variable num1. And similarly, second also, num2 is equals to float in a bracket input function. So here input function will take the input from the user and convert it into float. This float function convert it into float, and this float value will be stored in num2. You can see here. Now the printing the sum in a float. Now similarly we can perform print num1 plus num2. When this two both num1 and num2 will be added, that is both float values will be added, we'll get the float value, that is 71.0. Clear. Now next we'll see typecasting the input to string. All kind of input can be to the string type, whether they are the float or integer. We make the use of the keyword str for typecasting. So you can see this example. String is such to, I don't want any other input, I want the string. By default, it takes the string only. But sometimes if we have taken a value, or we have converted the value into integer or float, and then we want that value in the string, then we want that value into string. In such case, what we can do, we can um, use a str function. You can see here, string is equals to str in a bracket input. Now the input, the user will give the input. You can see, hello, welcome to the world of Python. So this is the input is given, and so now after that print string. Now this input is stored in a string, in a string variable. Now if I print the string variable, it will show the same message as the output. This blue one is the output, and this is the input. Okay, so I have done this in a interactive mode, and same thing can be done in a script mode also. I'm not showing the script mode here. Now we'll see how to give output using the print function. This is the simplest way to produce the output using the print function, where we can pass the 0 or some more expression separated by commas. This function converts the expression we pass into a string before writing to the screen. The syntax of print function is print in a bracket values, and there is some other arguments are there also there, that is separation, sap, or and function, and argument. Or if we don't want to use any parameters, then we can simply use print in a bracket value. So this is either we can use with the parameters also, or without the parameters also. Let's understand these parameters. The first parameter, that is values, it can be any value and as many as we like. So and this value will be converted to the string before printed. The second argument, that is scp, and this is for separation, and this is optional. This parameter specify how to, for example, if I have given the 5 object, if I want the output with the comma separated, then I have to specify here. If I have to separate that values with the space, I have to specify with this parameter, and default is space, you can see here. Now similarly, the third argument, that's end. So end is equals to, I can give backslash, and also I can give the end also. So this parameter is also optional, and this parameter specify what to print at the end. That is default is backslash end, that is new line. Let's see example of the print function. So example to understand the print function. See this example, and this code is in script mode. That is, in this example is how to print the data on the screen. So first we'll see the one object is passed, that is print in a bracket. I've just written one message, that is enjoy learning Python. So this is simply a one message. Now I'm creating a variable x is equals to 5. Now I will pass two object in a print function, that is, for example, uh, print in a bracket x is equals to, now let's see, this is in a double quote, that is, this is a message, as it is it will be printed, comma x is here, x is a variable whose value is 5. So I will show you the output also. Now similarly, the next is code for disabling the soft space feature. That means by default the spaces will be there. Now I will remove the space, and instead of that I will put a hyphen, that is dash. So the print g comma f comma g comma f comma g, and one argument is given, scp is equals to dash. Similarly, the next code is using the end argument, print python comma and is equals to at the rate, then print interesting language. You can see the output here. You can see the first print. How many print are there? 1 2 3 4 5. So as many print function will be there, as many output will be there. So print function, the first enjoy learning, you can see enjoy learning as it is coming. The second print x is equals to x, that is x is equals to x, the value of x is 5, so I will get x is equals to 5. Now let's see the third print, g f g, and I have given one parameter, separation is equals to hyphen. So what is the output? G dash f dash g. Now the last two, you can see here the python and is equals to at the rate. There is a no new line I have given, only I have given at the rate. So these two line will come together, that is python, first python, then at the rate. No parameter is given for changing the line, so automatically the next line will be continued with the previous only, that is python at the rate interesting language. So this way we will get the output. This is one example. We'll see one more example. Another example to understand the print function with the parameter. You can see the next example. So first I have showed the print function with the end is equals to backslash slash n parameter. Now here print is equals to welcome, then end is equals to backslash slash n, then print Python programming end is equals to backslash slash n. Now second is print function with the end or space parameter. Now what will the output in both the case? Let's see the output. So output will be, you can see the first line, welcome to, this is as it is, welcome to, and now it is n is equals to backslash n is a backslash n is a string literal, or you can say the escape sequence, and that means for new line or new line feed. And next line is Python programming. So this Python programming that will come in the next line. You can see like this in the next line. Now come to the next one, the print welcome to, and after that end is equals to dash. So there is a no new line is given, so it will not change the line, welcome to, then after that next line will be continue with the previous one only. So welcome to Python programming. This way we'll get the output with the print function. In this video we have learned how to take the input from the user and how to display the output. So this both the function, that is input and print function, these two function, input function and print function, is widely used function in the Python programming. So go through the video again, prepare your notes and do the practical. So almost this chapter is over. In next video I will come with the next chapter. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.